Hello everyone and welcome to the March 2023 Energetic Insights. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Depika Mystery and I'm an intuitive guide, energy healer, coach and a consultant. And I've been sharing these insights since September 2019 and it's really geared up for those of you that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if that sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. Oh my goodness, how are you feeling? Are you feeling that fast speed of the energies at the moment? The guides were kind of saying to me while I was going through this is that the energies are going to be super fast. And you may or may not remember that in January I mentioned towards the end of March, beginning of April, we're going to experience this sense of like a plot twist. So what the guides were saying about this is that many of us this month, we're going to feel this sense of twists and turns in our journey. And for some of us, you know, even though that there's this sense that things are moving faster and faster and faster, some of us are going to have this kind of experience where we've got this ability to bend time. I don't know how or what that would look like, but there will be this sense of, oh, hang on a second, I can bend this time, or I can stretch this time out, or I can shrink this time. So there's going to be a sense of that. And those of you that are musicians, you'll know this because you can play a piece as the way that the notes are written, or you have this ability to really stretch out the notes. It doesn't affect the timing, so you're always playing on timing, but there's a sense of stretching out the piece and filling out the spaces. So it'll feel a little bit like that. So going to be a really interesting month, especially around time and the sense of time and how we are experiencing time. What the guides were also saying is that each and every one of us will be riding something. So riding a wave, riding a roller coaster. Some of us may be just riding along in a little boat on a stream. But what they're saying is that whatever we're riding, it's a unique experience for ourselves and it's something that we need. And the way that they're also showing this is that there is a sense of where you started this month is not where you're going to end up in this month, even though it looks the same. This isn't something that can be planned, or it's not about the outcome and it's not about the destination. It's really about the experience. And the guides basically said it's much like a roller coaster. You might start and finish in the same place, but in between the start and finish, you've had an experience. And that has changed you and left you in a different space. So you might start and finish in the same place, but the experience in the middle changes you, which leaves you in a different space. So I think it's such a crucial message for this month and going forward, because we are going through these massive changes and transitions in our inner world and also in our outer world. For some of us it's showing up in both. Some of us we're experiencing it in our outer world, and for some of us we're going through the motions in our internal world. But ultimately it will come together. It will be both internal and external. And what the guides were saying is focus on the gift of the experience and be mindful of your inner critic. Right, before we move on to the first theme for this month, let's take a moment to revisit the themes from February. And they were your soul knows, breaking open, feminine energy awakening, and trust. So if any of those themes are resonating with you, please do go back and watch the previous month's insights. Okay. The first theme for this month is called I'm Done. And there is an opportunity this month for endings, for completions. And there's this sense and there's an energy of I'm just done. I am done. And what this means is that many of us, you know, we over the last 3 years, over the last 3 months, or the last 6 months, we have been going through the motions of maybe it's been healing our trauma, maybe it's been healing our wounds, or maybe things have been showing up in our lives, or things are just not working out for us, or we're constantly being faced with the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And so there's some energy and an opportunity this month because there's an energy of completion in the air. So what we've got the opportunity to say that I'm done. And it could be done with your patterns and your programming. Maybe they come from trauma, maybe they come from a wounded part of you. It could be done with relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's family member, whether it's a partnership. a work relationship, it could be anything. And it could be in the way that, maybe the relationship doesn't change in itself, but the way in which you show up in the relationship changes, and you're done with showing up in one particular way. And so therefore, when you say you're done with that, it allows you to show up in a whole completely different way. It could be you're done with people, with communities, with groups of friends. Also, there's an internal aspect of what you're done with. For some of us, it'll be done with the way in which we talk to ourselves, our inner critic, our inner dialogue, and the way that, we tell these stories to ourselves, the narrative that we have. And some of us can be done with our trauma, our wounding, and re-experiencing them over and over and over and over and over again, whether it's something that we're doing internally or something that is being triggered externally. And it's an opportunity also to be done with things that are preventing you from living your life in the way that you wish and you desire to live your lives, or preventing you from healing. Maybe it's a physical element, an emotional one, an energetic one, or a spiritual one. There's so many things that I think many of us are done with, and we're ready for them to be complete. And there is an energy of completion this month. So really, really harness that. And we can also look at, all the things that we may be repeating, or we're done with things that are just no longer serving us. And for some of us, we may not know what we're done with, but we can just put the intention out there to say, look, you know what, universe, I am done. I am done with feeling this way. I am done with living my life in this way. So each and every one of us are going to have this unique experience around what we are done with. And it's really been driven by this energy of completion that is moving through us. So it's a great opportunity to harness it. The key thing about this is using your body and staying grounded in the present moment as this energy moves through us. So I've got a quick exercise that you can do and you can use if you feel called to. So one of the things that you can do is just write down all the things that you are done with. And you can start with, I am done with, and jot them all down. And then the next step is that you can read that out aloud to yourself and say, I am done with X. I am done with Y. And as you're reading that out aloud, the key thing about this is giving yourself the permission to let go of any of the hidden benefits. Sometimes some things cannot come to completion because we have hidden benefits, right? And there is something that we're gaining out of by keeping that pattern alive, by keeping that trauma alive, by keeping that wounding alive, by keeping those relationships alive. We are gaining something for it. So when you're done with something, also give yourself the permission to let go of any of the hidden benefits and also the patterns and programmings that kind of sit behind that, because it's not needed. And if you're finding that you're struggling with that, or you're finding some resistance with it, give yourself the permission to put it on another list, to say, I want to be done with this, but I'm not ready yet. And then you can ask the universe for help to become more ready to let that go as well. So you're not punishing yourself in the moment because you're recognizing, I really want to be done with it, but I can't be done with it because I'm gaining something for it. So it's about accepting wherever you are in that moment, wherever you are in that process as well. And the key thing about this is use your body. You can use your breath. So as you're kind of reading this out loud, or even in your mind, you can use your exhale to kind of release whatever it is that you're done with. Or you can set an intention while you're swimming, while you're running, while you're doing yoga, while you're doing Pilates, any form of physical activity, or even simply dancing in your living room or singing in the shower. So be creative with this and have fun with it. It could be quite heavy for some of us because we're really facing some deeper truths of ourselves. So just bring the energy of playfulness in it, and remember you are harnessing this energy of completion. And it all has its own timing, so be really kind and gentle with yourself as you go through this process. All right, let's move on to the second theme for this month. And this theme is called Compassionate Heart. And there's a really strong energy this month, and it's an energy of the compassionate heart. That's what the guide says, the compassionate heart. And it's got this really beautiful, incredible healing power as well to it. And it's going to help us highlight. It's almost like the way that I'm seeing it is like if you imagine that you are a puzzle and you've got all these pieces of the puzzle and they're all kind of joined up, and then some pieces need to be removed from that puzzle. They're almost going to start pinging in a different color, so like green or red or whatever it is. So it's going to highlight parts of ourselves, parts of our puzzle that we are, and help us to see those parts in a new light. So there is a choice this month, and there's a sense of decision making as well, which comes with this compassionate heart energy. You know, we have the choice to stay in our poop, in our victim mode, in this mode where we're constantly judging ourselves, constantly criticizing ourselves. But there's, you know, we can decide consciously to stay in it, and it's okay if you choose to stay in it as well. Just like say, hey, I'm consciously deciding I need to stay in my victim mode for another day, another couple of hours. I just need to be in it, and I'm going to consciously choose to be in it. And that way you are not giving your power away. You are taking back control, and you know, you are empowering yourself to make that choice, knowing you are making that choice. The key thing is, if you are deciding to stay in your poop, in your victim mode, or in your self-destructive mode, or whatever mode you're deciding to stay in, do it with compassion. Do it with this energy of the compassionate heart. Oftentimes when we recognize that we are in our victim mode or we are swimming in our poop, one of my good friends, and when she's watching this, she's gonna laugh. It really made me laugh. She basically said, I'm just smearing poop on my face like as if it's a cream. So you know what, have fun with it. You know, take moments to laugh at yourself wherever you are in, and not take yourself or the situation too seriously, because we are all moving through this. And as we move through it, sometimes it can feel like we're swimming in quicksand or in mud, but we are actually moving. The key thing here is when you're finding yourself in these states of being that you don't really want to be in, or you've kind of avoided kind of, you know, the narrative that you have kind of say, well, I'm not really in that state, where you're kind of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Where you are in denial. Don't fight the mode. So don't fight being in the victim mode. Don't fight being in this self-critic, this judgmental or self-destruction mode. Don't fight it. Instead, love it, and you know, bring in this energy of the compassionate heart, and that is what's going to help with the transformation. Fighting it just makes the energy tighter, and it makes us contract. Whereas when we bring in the energy of this compassionate heart, it helps us to expand, it helps us to love ourselves, it helps us to be more compassionate and kind with ourselves. And remember, it's a choice. And it's a decision that we can make in any given moment. So if at one moment you choose to stay in your victim mode, another mode you said, you know what, I'm done with this. I, don't want to stay in this anymore. So wherever you are, the key thing is to honor it, to love it, and be compassionate with that part of yourself. And I feel that this month, many of us are going to be faced with parts of ourselves that we ourselves have shamed, we ourselves have judged, has gaslit, and those are the parts, and as I said with the jigsaw puzzles, they'll be pinging up, and those are the parts of ourselves that are going to need more of this compassionate energy. And it's the compassionate heart energy. It's not quite love, but it is a beautiful loving energy, but there's a sense of such deep kindness and compassion, and we're going to feel it moving through our entire body. So this is not something that we are imagining in the ethers or working with it in the ethers. This is actually quite tangible, because it will move through our bodies and move through the life experiences that we're having. And as this energy moves through us, we will be able to do it for ourselves. But not only that, ask yourself, where can I be more compassionate? So sometimes if we can't do it for ourselves, we may need to be doing it for other people, where we often judge someone or we shame them because they're on a completely different path to us, or whatever it is. give yourself that permission to work with this energy and say, like, how can I be more compassionate to the situation? How can I be more compassionate to this person? And do it with intention, and that energy will start to move and flow through you. And as it does, you can give it back to yourself as well. So it's it's not only just for yourself, it's for those around you and the situations that you are engaging in at the moment. And it's a very, very, very powerful and healing energy this month. Okay, let's move on to the third theme for this month, and this one is called Trust Yourself. And there was a massive theme last month around trust, and I feel that that still really, really applies this month, and it's an even bigger theme this month. And I think with all the shifts and changes that we're going through, and many of them for some of us is happening in an intangible space rather than an intangible space, and then those of us that have, have never ever felt truly heard, never felt truly seen, have been gaslit, have been shamed, have been judged through our childhood years, or just through society, because we are different, and each and every one of us are different because we are unique. This is going to be a very, very important energy this month, because we are entering into a whole new level of healing and clearing. So, many of us, oftentimes we find it really, really difficult to trust ourselves because of the journey that we've been in, the experiences that we've had in life, the way that society treats us. So we've almost like it's almost like if we had all our systems online when we were born, if they get invalidated, if those parts of ourselves get invalidated, we kind of shut down our systems, right? And even if the light is pinging on that part of ourselves to say, hey, I've got something to say, we automatically then starts to shut that part of ourselves down, because it's been done to us. Whether it could have been a teacher, it could have been through our school, it could have been friends, it could have been a group of friends, it could have been just society and the community that you've also grown up in. So this can be really difficult. And because when it comes to trust, we are trusting in something that is often intangible rather than something that is intangible, that is actually tangible, because it's a feeling, it's a knowing, it's a sense that we may get in our body. And oftentimes we are unable to communicate it. Oftentimes we're unable to translate it into something tangible. So we're really being asked to go into the intangibles and trust it. And the more that we're able to trust the intangible, whether it's a sense that we're getting about the environment around us, about the energetics, or it's a feeling, or it's a sensation in our body, but we don't know what it is, just focus in on that and just bring in this energy of trust and just say, hey, I trust you. I trust this feeling. But there's also a part of me that is doubting this, or it's shaming it or judging it, but I trust in you. So it's that kind of, it's almost like creating a bit more space around yourself in what you're sensing, what you're feeling in your body, or just your emotions, and trusting in that. And the guides had a message for this. I'm just going to read this out. And the guide said, each of you are on your unique journey / path. The paths cannot be compared. Each path is unique and perfect for the person in that moment. Each one of you are raised differently, even if you had the same parents and upbringing. You are on the perfect path for you, with the perfect conditions for your unique evolution. Don't compare yourself, your path, your journey to anyone else's. They are not you, and you are not them. And I feel really, 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 really strongly about the last one. And we often find it difficult to trust ourselves because we're constantly comparing, and we're constantly comparing because there's our need within us to really fit into our group of friends, fit into society, fit into our community, to fit into our family. So then we tend to lose that sense of self. And one of the key things, we are all on a journey at the moment, and I think it's really important that we have a unique journey that is unique to us, unique to our own blueprint. So we are a unique blueprint. We can have the same parents, the same upbringing. And as the guide says, you know, we are raised differently. We have, it's almost like the image that I get is one of a lock. So think about a padlock, which has a combination of a key. We all may look externally as the same as the padlock, but the combination, and even if we have some of the same numbers, it's going to be unique to each and every one of us. So that's really, really important to remember. So this is, you know, if you take this even wider, this is really about trusting in your soul, in your higher self, and the path that you have set for yourself, and trusting that the experience that you're having right now in this moment is absolutely perfect for you. Also knowing that at any moment you can make a different choice for yourself. You can make a decision for that path, and that can change the path as well. But just know that that path is unique, and be mindful if you're someone that is constantly comparing yourself, you know, to other people, or you find others comparing themselves to you. Just be mindful of that and allow yourself to step out of it and then drop back in to yourself. And you can do a quick meditation or set an intention, and you can set the intention of each and every day. Today I'm going to trust myself more than I trusted myself yesterday. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know what that looks like, but I give myself more permission today to trust myself that little bit more. And just by doing that, you will start to create this beautiful dialogue with yourself. So it's a really powerful, powerful energy this month. All right, let's move on to the fourth and final theme. And I think all of these themes are kind of interlinked with each other. So the fourth theme this month is blind spot kindness. And what the guides were saying is that we all have blind spots, and we are just not aware of them. And it's so much easier for somebody else to see our blind spots than it is for us to see our blind spots. That's why they're called blind spots. But many of our blind spots this month are going to start to reveal themselves to us. And this is really about learning to accept all parts of ourselves with love, compassion, and kindness. So this month, many of us are going to start to feel triggered, whether it's from something that we're experiencing externally by people. We're going to find ourselves being triggered, or someone, a friend, pointing out a blind spot. And the key thing is to recognize that you are being triggered. Recognize that, oh, am I being triggered because something's been shown to me, it's been revealed to me? And just allow yourself to be with it in that moment, and allow yourself to bring in this energy of kindness, and to love the blind spot that has been revealed to it, and to be kind to it. It is triggering, because what the guides were saying, it's going to be triggering because we are being asked at the moment to change and alter our perception of ourselves. And this can actually be destabilizing for the ego, because the ego sees ourselves and has all these beliefs and who we are and our identity and everything like that. And when we are faced with our blind spot, it can be very, very triggering for the ego, and it can be really destabilizing because we're having to go see ourselves in a whole new light. So this is a great opportunity to step back and bring the energy of kindness. And this is about accepting ourselves. And this whole theme this month, I feel really, with all the different aspects that are kind of coming together, it's really about coming back into wholeness within ourselves. And the only way that we can do that is to learn about parts of ourselves that are hidden, parts of ourselves that we shame, parts of ourselves that are in our blind spots, and just shine a light on them and accept them and love them. And as we do that, that brings it all back into ourselves. It's the guides are saying it is messy. That is just normal. That is part of the process. It is hard. It is emotional. It can be tiring as well. It's not about being right or being wrong. It's really about integrating and transitioning into a new form. And this is part of the evolutionary journey that each and every one of us are going on at this time on this planet. And that's what we kind of signed up for on a more kind of spiritual soul level. So be kind, be compassionate, and be super, 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 super gentle with yourself this month. Okay, that is it. Thank you all for watching these insights. If you have enjoyed them, please do go ahead and share it with your family members, your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues. Feel free to comment below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching this on Instagram or Facebook, give us a heart. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, so as these videos come out, you'll get notified that it's ready for you to watch. And then if you are needing some extra support this month, come and join our online energetic alignment session, which is a small intimate group, and we go on a healing journey each and every month. And this month it's taking place on Sunday the 26th of March at our usual time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. UK time. And the theme this month is trust yourself, and I feel that it's not just going to be on that theme, it's going to be all the themes for this month kind of integrated into a whole. So it's going to be a really, really powerful one, because it's going to get us to step back, it's going to get us to step in, and it's going to bring in this beautiful energy of kindness, compassion and love. So if that sounds good to you, I will probably get this up and running in probably a week's time or something like that. So just keep an eye out on Instagram or on your emails, so that you know that this is available to purchase. So thank you all for watching. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.